Finally, the first interest rate cut after waiting for so long. 18 September, the US Federal Reserve announced a 0.5% interest rate cut, more aggressive than expected and caught some people by surprise. And this is just the beginning. More cuts are expected in the coming months. This rate cut is happening in US, but how about Singapore? To estimate how much Singapore rates might drop, we can do the reverse way of seeing how the rates increase in 2021 to 2024 for both countries. In US, inflation was more serious, so they had to raise interest rate aggressively from 0% to about 5.5% at the peak. Singapore followed the trend, but not blindly. In 2021, our 3-month SORA was around 0.2% and it peaked at 3.7% earlier this year, which is an increase of 3.5%. Compared to the US, with a 5.5% increase, Singapore followed just about 60% of US rate hikes. So, when the US cut rates, Singapore is likely to follow at 60% of the US pace. The US started with a 0.5% cut in September and more to come. Expected a total of around 2.2% by the end of next year. Based on this, Singapore's 3-month SORA might drop by about 0.75%. In fact, Singapore already started cutting the rates early this year, with 3-month SORA peaking at 3.7% early this year and now falling to 3.5%. By the end of next year, SORA is likely to drop below 3%, and by the end of 2026, it could go down to 2.2%, which is a good news to home buyers and homeowners. Okay, let's show you one example. If you buy a 2.5 million property today with a 75% loan, that's a 1.875 million in loan amount. If you are 40 years old, at a 3% interest rate, you are paying 8891 a month. If the rate drops to 2.5% next year, your monthly payment will go down to 8411. Saving you more than 5,000 a year. 8,000 plus per month is still quite high, but what if I tell you I might be able to help you to reduce your monthly installment to 6,700, whereas for new launch you can only take the floating rates. At the peak it was more than 4.5%, but now it's near to 4% and expected to drop to 3.5% next year. If your new launch condo is going to complete only 3 years down the road, you only start to pay the higher monthly installment after the TOP. By then, the interest rate might drop to 2%. Okay, the most important thing I want to share here is the stress rate will be lower, which is not the actual interest rate, but it is a buffer for calculation purpose for your TDSR. Currently, the stress rate is about 4.5%, but it might be dropped to 4% next year, allowing you to borrow more. For example, if you earn 15,000 per month and you are 40 years old, your maximum loan with 4.5% stress rate is around 1.6 million. But with a 4% stress rate, you could borrow about 1.7 million. Your budget increase, allowing you to afford a bigger house. Okay, now, since the interest rate is expected to go down further, as a property owner, should you refinance now or wait? If I'm holding a completed property, I will choose to lock in 1 year fixed rate first. The non-fixed rate now is near 4%, but the fixed rate now is around 2.7%. You can always choose to reprice again after 1 year when the rates go lower. But if you wait, this could delay your next repricing schedule as well. In any case, it is important to have a careful strategy. And if you want to maximize your potential gain in the next 3 to 5 years, feel free to WhatsApp me for further discussion. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon. Bye.